There you are. Welcome aboard. You're right on time for another edition of The Morgan Show. My name is Lamont Germany, along with my cohort, Gabriel Ortiz.
How are we doing today, Lamont?
I'm doing good, man. This is the place. This is the space for all things Morgan State University athletics. And indeed, Gabe, an exciting week on campus. It was senior day on the hardwood. Morgan basketball seniors celebrating their final regular season home game, and they got it done. Both the women and the men beating University of Maryland Eastern Shore.
Yeah, it's awesome stuff. I mean, I even remember my own senior day in high school when I was playing soccer, and I mean, it was emotional. So I can only imagine what it was like to be a college senior, knowing that for a lot of these kids, this will be the last time they pick up an organized basketball game and play on an actual team with an actual coach. So, I mean, my heart goes out to all those men and women out there who put on a great performance, and they got the W. I mean, could you ask for anything else more from your senior day than walking away with a big W on both sides of the basketball? Great things to say.
Absolutely. We want to congratulate those seniors. They are by name on the men's side. Lagio Granson, the versatile big from the Netherlands, saying so long. Trevor Moore, two-guard from Houston, Texas. Also, Sherwin Devonis Prince, the primary ball handler for the Morgan State basketball team from Prince George's County. Keith McGee from Rochester, New York, transferred from the University of New Mexico. Also from Prince George's County, Elijah Bowens. And rounding out the senior class for the men, Seventh Woods, transfer from the University of South Carolina. Those were the 6 men who said so long. As for the ladies, there were 5 of them, Gabe, and as you mentioned, they won. Danye Red, preseason player of the year, going through some concussion protocol. So Danye unable to play the last few ball games. We hope to have her back before the season ends. She celebrated senior day along with Asia McCullough. McCullough becoming the latest member of the 1,000-point club recently from Prince George's County, saying see you later. A one-year Bear, Charlene Shepard, transferred from the University of North Texas, saying goodbye, as was Jayla Atmore, transferred from Arkansas Pine Bluff. And the final senior on the women's side, Kalia Hines, she's a forward from Kansas City, Missouri. Those 5 ladies and the gentlemen, Gabe, getting ready for the MEAC tournament next week. It's going to be showtime.
Yes, it is. It's championship season here at Morgan, and I cannot wait for this MEAC championship. We have 2 teams where we could see some orange and blue make deep runs on both the men and women's side. Both have a potential to go in with a pretty good seeding. I think the women have an opportunity to go in with the first seed, correct?
Yeah, they potentially could be a number 1 seed, probably no less than number 3. They've had a really consistent season.
And the men are going to be in there between the 5th and the 3rd seed, depending on how the last couple games shake out here. So, I mean, the stage is set for the Morgan Bears to make a chance to maybe get a ticket to the big dance in March, right?
Oh, yeah. That definitely got 2 teams that could go very deep in the tournament. That's going to be held next week in Norfolk, Virginia. And speaking of champions, the softball team.
Yep.
They got their season underway. They just came off a tournament in Hampton, Virginia. They won 3 of the 4 games, beat Hampton twice, beat Wagner University once. They're going to be playing a tournament a little closer to home this time. They'll be at UMBC playing a tournament that will involve 2 pretty good teams, UMBC and St. John's.
100%. And I think it's great for the team that they get to participate in these tournaments before their conference play kicks off, because we know that that's really where you start to make your money, and especially in the MEAC for these reigning champion softball players that we have right now. They're right now just kind of getting into the swing of things, trying to build a nice record underneath their belt, and then once you hit those conference games in a couple weeks, you know that they're really going to turn it on, and they're really going to show everybody why they are the reigning MEAC champions.
Also, Jack, as we've chronicled here on the Morgan Show, the bowling team's been doing some good things. They're going to go after the HBCU championship. It's set for this weekend in Georgia. We wish our ladies well as they continue to make a mark, not just regionally, not just among HBCUs, but nationally in the bowling team from Morgan State University.
For sure, and they also have, so they have the HBCU championships coming up soon, like you said, and then they have the conference championships at the end of this month. So they are in championship mindset for the next 3 weeks right now. So you know that they're going to be dialed in for a very long time. And I mean, I wouldn't trust anybody else to coach that team other than Coach Falbo and the superstar bowlers that they have. I mean, it's a really exciting time for that squad.
Speaking of Morganites getting it done, Gabe, we can't leave out the track and field team. We got a couple of shot putters that are living large and loving life. Both from Jamaica, both recent champions in the recently completed MEAC Indoor Championships. On the ladies' side, Janelle Johnson, the winner in the shot put, and on the men's side, Zachary Dillon, the winner on the shot put. And we got a couple of shot putters that are making noise regionally and nationally, Gabe.
Yeah, and Janelle Johnson, she won MEAC Athlete of the Week for track and field the week before she went on to get her gold medal. So she was a classic case of just getting hot at the right time, having loads of talent, and then adding in some momentum, heading in to their championship competition, and she walked away with a gold medal. So what else could you possibly ask for, right?
Our own Zakiya Jennings had an opportunity to talk to the shot put athletes. We'll have that and a whole lot more coming up right here on The Morgan Show.
Good evening, everyone. This is Tariq Turner reporting for the Morgan News Hour. On January 15th, Coppin State's men's basketball team defeated Morgan 79-76 after freshman guard Ninda Tark made a shot from beyond half court at the buzzer. Tark scored a team-high 22 points in the win. On Thursday night, the Bears traveled to Coppin and got the revenge as they defeated the Eagles 63-59. Morgan senior guard Isaiah Burke scored a team-high 14 points and was a perfect 6 for 6 from the field. Morgan finished the regular season 12-13 overall and 7-6 in conference play. Next week, the MEAC tournament will take place from March 9th to March 12th in the Norfolk Scope Arena in Norfolk, Virginia. The Bears' 7-6 conference record earned them the 4th seed in the tournament out of 8 teams, and they are scheduled to face the number 5 seed, South Carolina State, on March 10th at 6 p.m. The Bears went 2-0 against South Carolina State in the regular season as they defeated them 88-81 on January 10th and 76-66 on February 14th. The game was streamed live on ESPN+. I'm Tariq Turner reporting for the Morgan News Hour. After defeating Coppin State 53-47 in the final game of the regular season, Morgan State's women's basketball team became MEAC co-champions of the regular season. The Lady Bears' 11-3 conference record tied with Howard and Norfolk. Next week, from March 9th to March 12th, the MEAC women's basketball tournament will take place in the Norfolk Scope Arena in Norfolk, Virginia. Due to tiebreakers, Morgan is the number 3 seed in the tournament out of 8 teams. The Lady Bears are scheduled to face the number 6 seed, South Carolina State Lady Bulldogs, on March 10th at 2 p.m. in the quarterfinal round of the tournament. Morgan won its 2 regular season games against SC State. On February 7th, the Lady Bears defeated SC State 73-49. On February 14th, they defeated them 76-48.
And here I have with us the star from the women's track and field team, Janelle Johnson.
Hello, my name is Janelle Johnson. I'm a junior. I'm from Clarendon, Jamaica. I am part of the track and field team.
Okay. Now, what brought you from Jamaica to Morgan? I know you're a transfer student, so I'd like to hear about your transition.
Okay, so I went to Edwin High School. There, I joined the track and field team, and then I got a scholarship to go to Benedict College, which is in South Carolina. Yeah, and then I transferred here to continue the track and field program and my studies.
Now, where did you get your interest in track and field as a whole?
Well, I like track and field from I was smaller, and when I was like in grade 9, my friends like always doing track. So one day I asked them if I could join or how to join, and then I joined the track and field team. Yes, and from there I love it, and I get to throw I like discus shot, and I fell in love with discus. So from there, yeah, I know that I love track and field. There.
Now, the women's track and field team did place third overall, I believe, in the MEAC Indoor Championships. And this was the first time that they have placed third or in the top three at all since 2014. How was that, knowing all the hard work you put in? How was that, knowing that you were able to bring Morgan back into the top three spots?
It felt good. Like, this is my first indoor championship, so I don't have much experience, but it felt good, and I like that for the team, the experience, and everything.
So what is your transition like now from indoor season to outdoor season? How do your practices and your preparation change?
Well, definitely going back in the cold weather. I think that, like, now it's very cold, so sometimes we don't get like as much throws as I think, because it's very cold. So sometimes we, like, our hands get numb. Like, we throw discus, which we have to use our fingers. Like, that's one of the main factors that I don't like the transition. So from indoor, which is warmer, to the cold weather, I don't like that part.
Now, can you explain discus a bit for those that don't know what that is?
Okay, so discus event is a very technical event. It's a spherical like sphere, but not really a ball, but a disc.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So it's very technical. So not much people can do it, but it's very difficult to learn sometimes. Yeah. So that's it. You have to just learn the technical part of it. I can't really explain like how to do it.
Now, what can we expect from the women's track and field team for outdoor season?
You can expect a lot, because I think most persons like the outdoor events more than the indoor. Like, we're more experienced outdoor more than indoor, so I definitely feel like we can do better.
Okay. Now, as far as you and your career, does your track and field career stop in college? What plans do you have for it after college?
I love track and field, but I don't think I would continue after. Like, it's not like my dream to do that. I want to be a nurse. So yeah, I think I would go after that career path.
Now, you did bring home a gold.
Yes.
Tell me about that.
Well, I was expected to win the gold medal, because I was first in the MEAC for the shot put. So I definitely like go out there, do my best, and try to get that title. Like, yeah. So it's my first like indoors. So I was a bit nervous, but I did my job, and I think I did great, and I feel happy about that.
Well, thank you so much for your time and for being here, and we are excited for your outdoor season.
Thank you.
And with us here, I have Zachary Dillon. Go ahead and introduce yourself for us.
Hello everyone, my name is Zachary Dillon. I'm a freshman here at Morgan State University. I'm a member of the track and field team.
Okay. Now, the men placed third, and it was your best finish in the MEAC Indoor Championships since Morgan finished in fourth in 2009. How does it feel to be able to bring Morgan back to the top three positions?
Well, the feeling is actually overwhelming. Like, I didn't know I would be there to contribute, to play my part in making the team finish third.
Yeah, I'm sure, especially as a freshman, that's not something you expected to be a part of. Now, what was your transition like from Jamaica to Morgan?
Well, my transition was a little bit bittersweet, because leaving Jamaica, that was the only place I knew. I grew up there. I trained there, but I knew like coming here would have been a better opportunity for me to excel at track and field and school.
Now, what initially sparked your interest in track and field to begin with?
What actually sparked my interest was when I was back home at my school, Calabar High. We usually have like a championship for track and field, and my school would always dominate for the most part. So I wanted to get that feeling like knowing that I'm a part of a team.
Mm. Now, do you have any concerns shifting from indoor season to outdoor? And what does that preparation now look like for outdoor?
There isn't really much concern because everything is already laid out of what is required for us to do when outdoor season approaches. So it's just for us to apply ourselves and get it going.
Okay. Now, where do you see yourself taking track and field in the future if this is something you choose to pursue?
This is something I definitely see to pursue because God's willing, when I'm finished with Morgan, I do hope to go to become a pro athlete in the shot put discipline.
Okay. Well, thank you for your time.
No problem.
And last but not least, we have Kobe Rooms. Can you introduce yourself for us, please?
Good morning. I'm Kobe Jordan Rooms. I'm a member of the track and field team. I'm a graduate student, and this is my home, Morgan State.
Can you tell us a bit about your transition from Jamaica to Morgan?
Well, transitioning from Jamaica to Morgan was a good experience for me. I had a good relationship with the coaches, and they made Morgan friendly by the time I was here, so I didn't really have any problems with it.
What drew you into track and field in the first place?
So track and field was my second sport, believe it or not, that my father really drilled into me at a young age. And as it progressed over the years, I realized that I was good at track, so I stuck with it.
What was your first sport?
My first sport was soccer. That's what I used to play back at home.
Why did you choose to pursue track and field over soccer?
Because from Jamaica, soccer athletes don't really get the opportunity to leave the island and pursue their degrees in whatever they want to study. And track and field was always a sport that is more competitive back at home for us. So it was easier for me to compete with teams and schools from other places.
Now, you put up the most points in the field events out of everyone there. How does that feel? How does that feel to know that your preparation put you in this position?
It feels good knowing that we prepared for this. The team works hard, and I'm extremely proud of the team. And being able to basically be the leader to help my team progress and end up finishing third overall was a good achievement.
And like you just mentioned, Morgan was able to finish third overall, which is good considering in 2009 they placed in fourth. How do you feel that you placing the most or getting the most points in your field events contributed to Morgan placing third overall?
I feel like I had a big role to play by putting up the most points in my events, but I also feel like it was a team effort, so just seeing me go out there and give my hardest, I feel like that inspired the team to do the same.
Now, where do you see track and field in your future if you choose to pursue it at all?
I can see myself as a pro athlete on the side, but it's not a definite, in the track and field world.
On the side, so what are your main goals?
So my main goal is to go to med school and end up being hopefully a plastic surgeon.
Now, what can we hope to see from you and the team overall this outdoor season?
This outdoor season, the team will be coming just as aggressive, just as strong. I have faith in the team. And as for me, I have some unfinished business. Coach Hodge told us that this is our year, so we're going to take advantage of that and go out there and give it our best shot.
Unfinished business, get into that for me.
Unfinished business, well, there's some stones I left unturned that I need to turn over, especially with the Morgan triple jump record. So I need to go for that.
We're looking forward to seeing all that you guys are going to bring from Morgan this season. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
Welcome back in Lamont, Germany. That's me. Gabriel Ortiz, that's he. Who are we? Oh, we're the Morgan Show. Fun ride, this edition of the Morgan Show. And we can't wait for what happens next week, because next week, Gabe, is tournament week in the Mid-Eastern Athletic Conference. It's the pinnacle of the season for the basketball teams, men and women. An opportunity to advance to March Madness, and the big dance awaits. And based upon what we've seen from both teams, Gabe, I don't think it's hyperbole to say that both the men and the women, I think, have an opportunity to be in the championship circle on Saturday.
No, not at all. And like you said, this is as big as it gets. This is as big as it gets. This is what you work for all season, to get a bid to the big dance in March. Now, Morgan, the men's side right now, I think they're catching heat at the perfect time. And I think that's almost more important sometimes than having a consistently great season, is kind of going through battles, going through struggles, and then right in those last few games, right before you hit the tournament, to start catching steam, to start showing you can put up big numbers, big points against the best teams in your conference. And that's what Morgan's been doing the last 3 weeks. Just barely lost the HBCU Classic to second place Howard. Just last week, beat first place Norfolk, who are undefeated at home right now, putting up 80-plus points in 2 of their last 3 games. I mean, the men's basketball team is showing that they can play. And I think they're showing what we thought they would be all season, these last few weeks. So if they can carry that momentum into the tournament, they've already shown there's nobody they can't beat. I mean, Norfolk's are the top dogs right now, and they put in great work against them. Howard is number 2. When we saw them on the HBCU Classic, lost by, 66-68? A completely winnable game. There's no reason to think that they can't make a deep run in this tournament and punch their ticket to March.
Absolutely, and I agree with you. This is a men's basketball team that I think, frankly, underperformed throughout the majority of the regular season. The way they played lately is what the expectation was all along. So if you're going to pick a time to play your best basketball, now's the ideal time as you get set for tournament play. As for the ladies, they've been consistent all season long. Could be as high as the number 1 seed going into the tournament next week. I think the wild card will be, will they have the preseason player of the year, Danye Red, who's missed about the last month of the season because of concussion protocol. They've been winning without her, but I think they're better with her. I think they would prefer to have her come tournament time. I'd like to see her go out on the court with a championship. But I think this is a team that is deep enough, has played well enough, that they might be able to do it even without their all-conference performer, Danye Ray.
And even if they do get her back, it's always tough to reintroduce yourself to the game and step back onto the court immediately in tournament time, when you know you need to deliver your best, when you haven't had an opportunity to hone that skill for, like you said, over a month. So I think Morgan State, even if she is healthy and ready to go, needs to be prepared to put in a performance without her playing at her very best. And then you hope if you can make a deep enough run, she gets 3 or 4 games under her belt, well then all of a sudden she's back to prime time. And if you can combine that with a team that's riding high on a deep tournament run, Morgan's going to cause a lot of problems for a lot of teams in this tournament.
The place to be to find out how Morgan men and women do next week in the MEAC tournament is right here for Gabriel Ortiz. I'm in Lamont, Germany. We thank you for joining us on The Morgan Show.